Respected juror, my name is Seba and today I'm here to present my dissertation. My topic is the converging trajectories of fashion and architecture. This research develops from the fact that for centuries, architecture and fashion have been widely used as a basic shelter of the human body, but in different scales and proportions. Nowadays, we see that architects are adopting techniques and strategies that were popularly used by fashion designers, such as folding, draping, layering, pleating, printing, etc., in order to achieve fluidity and abstraction and create interesting forms, while fashion designers are moving towards architectural principles and philosophies and aiming at achieving new and provocative forms and volumes in dressmaking. So, what is the concept of this lateral symbiosis? What is the extent of overlap and influence on each other? These are the questions that will be answered in this essay. In this dissertation, we will be exploring the functioning and response of both the fields under various topics. The aim of this paper is to investigate the synergy between the related fields of architecture and fashion and to explore the underlying fundamentals between the two. We do this by getting a thorough historic overview to understand the lifetime of this correlation. Then we will be comparing and contrasting the functioning of both the fields under the following topics, namely media and marketing, gender bias, sustainability, and technological advances. This research conceptually approaches and precisely compares the similarities and differences of fashion and architecture through a focus on their correlations and also tries to foresee the future of this correlation. We also look at how the two fields have evolved over time and look for new possibilities for bridging the gap between architecture and fashion. We will also be questioning the feasibility of the outcomes obtained by merging the principles and techniques of both the fields. However, please note that the term fashion is strictly restricted to clothing and not the changing trend of everything as a whole. Also, the comparative study of both the fields is strictly based on the four topics mentioned earlier. When we look at this historic timeline, we can see that modernism featured the complete rejection of fashion as it tended to represent ornamentation. It was seen as an insidious phenomenon that, if not held in check, will contaminate the pure logic of architecture. But with the onset of deconstructivism, it became difficult to distinguish the theories of architecture and fashion. Lucy Orta's Refuge Wear manifests the limiting line between building and clothing, stating both of them as sculptural, tactile, and architectural expressions of society. They provide shelter to the refugees, yet define their living conditions very vividly. Victoria Letra's term, form follows fashion, is primarily based on the fact that both architecture and fashion provide shelter to human beings, keeping aesthetic as the common factor. The curves, angles, patterns, and colors seen in several buildings are used as food for thought by designers. In an interview between a creative director and a sales executive, several similarities between architecture and fashion were found, one of them being that both of these fields tend to transcend into art when a certain line of practicality is crossed. Putting clothes in an architectural environment and wanting it to create a certain impact on the audience is a situation where both the fields empower each other. As times changed, the dependence on paper magazines has shifted as it has been taken over by blogs, smartphone apps, social media, and other digital sources. This mass marketplace has blurred the lines between professional and amateur as the internet poses no qualifications to give personal opinion on a certain topic. Meanwhile, in architecture, a law was passed by the AIA that deemed advertising as inappropriate and unprofessional. But this has changed over time, and several architects like Frank Gehry have been faces for big companies like Apple. From the late 19th century, it was believed that women should keep their position as the muse for the art rather than be the creator of art. By the end of 20th century, as new designers like Coco Chanel entered the field, women started to gain prominence in the world of fashion, arts, and architecture. In today's world, fashion magazines tend to take male designers under their wing and describe their works as poetic and artistic, whereas the female approach is often seen as grounded and comfortable. Due to the new trend of fast fashion and overconsumption, textile industry has become the second most polluting industry in the world. This has created a pressing need to shift to natural and eco-friendly fibers. It is also necessary that these eco-friendly fibers have a closed supply chain and do not use any harmful chemicals. Even though cotton is a natural fiber, its production requires 2,500 liters of water, whereas a polyester shirt requires 350 liters of water. In architecture, sustainability can be practiced from the design level by placing the building in the right orientation. Most popular sustainable projects have used the local workforce and community as the core of the project. In the clothing industry, an effort has been made to bring down the consumption rates by creating techno-savvy clothing that works and responds to climate, temperature, location, etc. Since an architect's job relies heavily on client presentations, several innovations have been made to elevate client experience. New softwares are being developed that speeds up the process of getting 3D models from 2D designs. From the literature review, we understand that fashion and architecture have a historical link that cannot be ignored. Their fundamentals have been merged to voice political opinions. They have been highly influenced by each other, and they function almost similarly under the forementioned topics. In order to strengthen our foundation on the inference of the literature review, we need to go into further detail and look at examples of the statements that we derived. After gaining this knowledge, we can further derive solutions and come to conclusions on the same. Because of the nature of this topic, it will be adapting a very theoretical approach. The arguments will be supported with proper example analysis and enriched with observations from both the fields. In the qualitative analysis, we have already compared the fields under 4 topics in the literature review. Now we will be going into further detail by looking at various literature case studies. We will also be doing a small quantitative analysis in order to get real-time information through online surveys. Due to the onset of COVID-19, no live case studies could be conducted. We'll analyze this data together in the end to draw conclusions. This is a typical example of knowledge of architecture and fashion design coming together to create a final product. Exemplary award-winning architect and designer Zaha Hadid has designed a pair of limited edition chrome-plated shoes with 16.5 cm cantilevered heels. Working with complex structural principles for 30 years has played a major role in her design for this shoe. The shoe comes in only 2 sizes, 35 and 40 in limited editions, and only 100 numbers per color is made and available for sale. It is available only at very special stores and can only be seen used in movies and runway shows. A study conducted by McKinsey & Company and Council of Fashion Designers of America has helped shed light on the degree of inequality in the fashion industry. Less than 50% of famous fashion brands are owned by women, but only 14% have a female executive in charge. This is happening in spite of the fact that women start off with a higher ambition than men. Through this study, we can understand the reasons for the inequality and realize that most of them lean towards the typical gender stereotype that states women as the caregivers of the family. We are also provided with several solutions for eradicating this inequality, but all of them can be executed only by unlearning the gender stereotype first. Overpollution in the textile industry has led to the pressing need to shift to eco-fibers. From an online survey conducted, we can see that sustainable clothing is mostly not preferred as it is more expensive. This is because the manufacturing process is usually tedious and time-consuming, which in turn increases the overall production cost. The Bangladesh garment manufacturing industry has recently seen an outbreak due to low wages and unpaid laborers during the period of COVID-19. Through the study, we see that the low wages is what makes this industry stand out and attract large exporters. The authenticity of sustainable clothing lines being made in this industry is also questioned. The popularization of 3D printing has led to quicker project completion and execution of impossible forms in both architecture and fashion design. The Skin Plus Bones exhibition was conducted by the Museum of Contemporary Art and featured 46 architects and fashion designers from the United States, Europe, and Japan. The combined synergy between the fields caused for a rich exchange of ideas and methodologies. From this comparison, we cannot really distinguish between the design strategies used in making of the building and the garment. From the literature reviews and literature case studies, we can see that both architecture and fashion have some underlying fundamentals and contrasting aspects. Some of the most relevant underlying fundamentals are that both the fields involve a 2-dimensional concept being transformed into a 3-dimensional object, and there is a strong relationship between form and function. On the other hand, one is ephemeral in nature, whereas the other is eternal in nature. One is a volume for one body versus the other is volume for many bodies. The online blogging wave in the fashion industry has helped many women feel more accepted in their natural skin and body image. We can say that advertising in the architecture industry has not hit the audience at such personal levels yet. Gender roles, like any other industry, is equally prevalent in both. We must unlearn the gender stereotype and bring about gender neutrality in order to combat this problem. It can be said that sustainability can be easily achieved in both fields if a conscious effort is made. Technological advancements in both fields aim at reducing the manufacturing process and promoting sustainability. Finally, we can conclude by saying that both architecture and fashion definitely do have a correlation that was initially condemned and later embraced. The principles of both fields have been merged to create several ensembles and even to express social discontent, but their feasibility can be questioned. Both the fields function almost similarly and use the same design strategies. This gives professionals from both fields a chance to interact on a global scale. In a conceptual scale, both the fields address imaginary designs in space. They both reflect the aesthetic sense of the individual occupying the space. A material adaptability and elasticity between both the fields can also be witnessed. With new technological advancements coming up that address the same issues in both the fields, we can foresee more future interconnections and links between them. That is the conclusion of my research. Thank you for listening.